now. So you got alumni that, but it's,
And I need to do this.
to do it with just a laptop and sound. Oftentimes, if the classroom's set up right, you can be on the sound. Their ability to see is less, you can see them, but you're relying on the camera on the laptop, so kind of turn it right.
And we sometimes do here.
Right. Less,
Okay, if we can bring the
ask the question.
meeting to order to start the meeting. Before we get too far, we had a review of the minutes from both the June meeting and the July meeting that were sent out. Everyone have a chance to review those?
I did.
And any additions or changes? We'd like a motion to pass the June minutes and then a motion to pass the July minutes.
I move we pass them both.
All in favor? Aye. Roger.
I'm in favor where it is.
Okay.
In favor of dismissal, we're done.
And so, today, we have a couple of guests through Zoom. Lisa of GEI is here to give us a, sort of overview or review of where this report stands. So I would like to move to Lisa to keep this moving through. And we also have Travis here who has, sent us all a letter and has an interest in running a lobster boat charter off the dock here in Castine. So I think if possible, I'd like to begin with Lisa and your input on the project and status update.
Yeah, well, first off, thanks for adding me onto the agenda. I do want to apologize. The report I had intended to have actually in June, we've had some staffing challenges, just people being called and sensitive construction windows have kind of shake things up on our end. So I do apologize, but the report has been drafted and it is currently in our internal review. However, I talked to Derek a couple weeks ago, kind of on a separate topic, but we've discussed this project briefly as I've put together basically the concept design, and as we've gone through the two different forums, initially kind of what we had anticipated was, showing more of an engineering style in the concept designs. But I think as the project, as we thought through this internally, thinking about what would be most valuable to the town and the community, was more of a rendering idea. So what we heard at the second forum and what we worked through with the design charrette was kind of looking at the possibilities of, what the town dock could be utilized for, not just, just keeping in mind that the overarching theme of this report is flood risk and what we can do in light of these future flood scenarios at the town dock area. But keeping in line with what we've talked about throughout the course of the project with, one of them being dock extension or the float extension. What we heard a lot was, utilizing some more green space and pathways. So looking at what we have on our end, what we would have utilized for those concept design plans, taking that budget and shifting it and working with a landscape architecture firm who has a lot of experience in this. They've worked with the town of Camden on their dam removal as an example. Their company's name is Tandem, and so I've engaged with them, and they are working on a rendering of the town dock to show not only an overview of what the possibilities are, but also just a generic, well, not generic, it's taking the site data, but a cross section too of, if we elevate the bulkhead, how that will look and the layout of the floats. And so I just think it's a little bit more of community digestible, I guess I would say, instead of sometimes these engineered drawings, which I have included as well in the report, but more of an example of what like an elevated bulkhead would look like. So I think this will be a better deliverable at the end. It is, again, I recognize it is delayed and I do apologize for that, and I do appreciate the patience that Derek and the committee have given us on this. So but that's where it's at. The report, our hope is to have it in the next couple of weeks. I'm just basically waiting on that rendering now at this point. And so once we get that, the draft will go out, and we'll take the feedback in from the committee and Derek and whoever else would like to take a look at it, and then we'll take those comments and then get the draft, I mean the final out. So that's where it stands. Yeah, yeah, I'm happy to take any questions.
No, other than, I mean, I think, do you have a date for deliverable that you think you'll have something for us?
Well, I could get the draft if with minus the rendering, if just kind of keep it internal, maybe not for public consumption, if that would be appropriate, or if you want to wait for that rendering, I could have that by, I would say, like first week of September, if not sooner.
I don't think that's, I mean, we can wait for the rendering. Our next meeting will be in September, after that, so if that gives us time. But
What's yeah, what's the September date? Because I think that will be if I can have like that date, and we'll have that, goal.
that's an agenda item.
Oh, okay.
But typically it's the second week of September.
Okay.
And so, either the Wednesday or Thursday of that week.
Okay.
It was third.
Third. Sorry, third. I'm
Okay.
getting off the water and a little wind wet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's chilly out there today.
What's cooler? Yeah.
Okay. Let's I'll plan for that, do what I have to do on my end to get the team sort of get it, make sure we have it by then for you to have reviewed a couple days prior, I would say. Just give you some time. And then if you want, I can come back. I'll plan to be here at the September meeting, and we can maybe go over that, or if that works, or however you want to handle it.
Yeah, I think that would work.
Okay.
Any further questions for Lisa? Anyone?
Depending on how long a report it is, if we had it a couple of days before the meeting,
Mhm.
to review it, that would be helpful.
Yeah, it's about like I have it at about, I don't know, 60 pages at right now. So we'll give you a couple days to look at it. I won't throw it on you the day of. So
And even if we need to, rather than the second week, we could do the third week in September.
That's what we do normally.
Sorry.
We normally do the third week.
yeah, and also too, I mean, if I get it, and I'll get it to you, if I can get it to you sooner, that's my ultimate goal. It's just having a deadline is good, so I can kind of go back and say this is my absolute drop dead date. I need it. But we could use it as, just discuss it, but it's not to say that I have to have all your comments by then. You could still just review it, and then you could submit it, written comments after that. We could have it finalized, I would hope, by the end of September.
That sounds reasonable.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments for Lisa?
Yeah, what kind of dollars are we talking about for specific improvements? Are you gonna be including that?
Yeah, we'll have like basically what we typically do is a range. So, you'll have a project that, like, I have it broken down into some immediate strategies, near term, well, immediate near term are the same, short term, and that time frame being defined as, basically within 2 to 10 years, and then the longer term planning studies that we'd be looking at where you'd be, completely maybe reconfiguring the float system. And then with those time frames and those different strategies, I have a dollar sign, and that, and it's either $1 sign, 2, 3, 4, and then that's a range of, approximate value. And so you can kind of look at that. So it'd be like $1 sign is, a project that is, I have to look at what I designated as, but it's like up to $100,000. And then 2 would be between 100 and so forth. So it gives you a range of what we're looking at.
Are you giving us any availability of, federal, state money with
Yes,
that?
I have a whole table in there related to the available funding that's still out there and that you can apply for. And actually, there was a newer one that I was just made aware of through the federal government that I think this project would be potentially a good candidate for. It's for It's almost like the FEMA funding that came through. It was called BRIC. It was a Building Resilient Infrastructure and Community, or BRIC is what that BRIC stood for. But this is through the Economic Development, and it's through, again, the federal government, and it's in those communities that, or states actually, that have had disaster declarations. And there's different phases that you can look at through this funding, and it's a pretty significant amount of funding. And one is kind of the planning stage, which I think will be helpful because we've gone through that with this project. And then there's an implementation phase. So yeah, that one is one I'd like to highlight too. Just I think it's like I said, I think it's everything's going to be competitive, more so than it has been in years past. But I think this one, now that you've been through the planning, and you might have some projects that can kind of, I mean, this is kind of a high level planning. You'd still need to go into a level of planning of, like, what exactly you would be doing for the design, but that's what this funding would cover in those phases. So, but yeah, we have a whole list. There's a table that we have worked through, and we actually have a staff person at GEI that kind of keeps up to date on all these different funding throughout states and federal government, that, what's still active, what's not still active. And so, yeah, it's very helpful, I find.
Have you had any experience with other towns actually getting money out, or, doing that proposal, or is it too early for that?
What is that?
Have you had any success, or the towns had any success acquiring the money that you just mentioned for these projects?
Oh, no, this one, to me, that I became aware of it. I don't know when exactly it was released. It seems relatively new. So I'm not aware of any towns, but I know, like, North Haven, they had a similar planning study. And then when FEMA, the BRIC funding was available, they were able to go after that, kind of having this, document and saying, here's our, roadmap, essentially, if you will. BRIC is no longer available, but this almost seems to be the current administration's funding. That's what I find to be kind of on the same level as that. And it's substantial funding available, which a lot of the infrastructure projects for the town dock are, it's substantial financing that will be needed. So
Great. Well, I think we look forward to reading the report.
yeah, okay, great.
Thank you very much, Lisa.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, take care.
And in order to provide some opportunity here, we're introducing Travis Wyman, who's has this letter that he sent to the committee, and just an effort to express his interest in working here in Castine and the opportunity to have some commercial signage available, I think, is part of the request. But this was a chance for the committee to discuss that, ask any questions of Travis. He's here on Zoom as well. I think personally that this is very welcomed, and there's more activity on the waterfront, the better. And this kind of activity is important for the commercial side, the Acadia Pier particularly. I think that legacy piece is important. So I certainly encouraged Travis to reach out to us, having spoken to him, and I hope that other people, if you have questions, can ask Travis or.
Travis? What size boat and how many people do you carry?
Trying to get. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can hear me? Okay. Sorry, I new on Zoom. I have a 35-foot Duffy lobster boat, and I only take 6 people.
So Travis, do you have traps in the area now? Did you hear me?
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Do you have traps here in the area, in the zone?
Yeah, I have stuff right up in the harbor, and then at the mouth by Dice's headlight there, out by the can, and up around Goose Falls too. So I've been fishing the area since with my dad, even since I was a kid. So
And what kind of trips do you anticipate? Just bringing people from Belfast over and taking them back, or
Uh,
trips out of Castine, or?
it would be mostly so I would schedule it ahead, obviously, but I would just be picking them up from the dock. So I'd be at the dock for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then go out, pull traps for an hour to 2 hours, come back and drop them back off. And then it would be kind of like that style of tour. Just short term and pretty much I'd only need the dock just to load and unload for, 15, 20 minutes kind of max. I wouldn't even think it'd take that long if they were there and ready.
Good.
Sounds like a good thing to me.
Yeah, they have similar, event or, fishermen out off of Bar Harbor does the same thing. I've been doing it for a long time, doing lobster tours on it. And, when I was doing the bus tours as a tour guide, we would take people, drop them off, and he would take them out, we'd take them out, pull them traps and do a little bit of, eco talking and whatever, but, there was basically pulling the traps. And, it was the same idea. But you have,
Yeah.
you probably met up, it's in Bar Harbor, I'm not sure the name.
Yeah, there's a few companies that do it and a few individuals around. I've been doing it less so, but I've been doing it for 10 years. I've been licensed and Stockton is great, but it's kind of off the beaten path, even a lot more so than Castine is. So you don't always have the uh, people coming down there that you might have towards Castine way. Castine's a little more of a destination for the state versus Stockton, unless you're coming down to the rides or to Fort Point Light. That's really all that's down there.
And I think particularly Travis is looking for a little, an okay for some signage down on. Like Little Toot has and like, the Scarlet has something to that.
Are you looking for, well, assuming everybody asks that question, so you're looking for a motion today?
Yeah, I think we can have a motion that would, say that the Bug and Me Tours is able to post some, poster board or sandwich board of some sort there.
And do we have on our agenda today something about continuing a discussion about something about commercial use of the docks?
Not on the agenda today, but that is a goal that we have, to prepare ordinance materials that recognizes the increased commercial use of the docks.
Yep. So at this point, use of the dock would be free, but at some point we may come up with some sort of hopefully nominal fee structure for using the docks.
Yeah, I think
So
that.
just want Travis to be aware of that.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the intent over time. Nothing is in, ordinance at present. So it's really just the request for the signage. And the endorsement that that's okay.
Yeah, as long as the signage can handle the winds and stuff, so we're not always picking it up.
yeah. Yeah, and I was even some stuff I could do. I could either do it to leave it, or even if I put it there on like a day, I was thinking maybe like a day a week to offer out of there. If no one signed up, I wouldn't come there. But and then I could even bring the signage just so people could find me, and then I could take it with me. I plan to be as little impact as humanly possible and still kind of use that little bit bigger population that you guys get through there.
Yeah, both models exist. Scarlet brings their sign with them. When they're operating, and Little Toot leaves their sign there all the time. So I think that we could pass a motion and allow you to decide which you would like to do.
Should probably
Yeah.
put it on the bulletin board as well now.
Yeah.
Do you envision people seeing your sign and pre-registering for a tour, like say on every Tuesday or something like that? Or do you
Yeah.
more like to do walk-ups?
I'm hoping to do more signing up ahead of time. Just the same idea to keep the. I don't want to be at the dock any more than I have to be. I'm trying to come in, already have everybody lined up, ready to go, load them, go out, come back, drop them off, and so the sign up would be easier and faster that way. That's my end end goal for sure is maybe getting it set up with like a day a week that I'm sort of working out of Castine versus Stockton.
You'd probably want some signage there all the time so people can find out about you and then go register.
Yes, I had talked to the information center right by the dock. I had talked to them some. I'm I could do something. I could do something more permanent, and I could make it plenty substantial. Uh, I do a, I do a lot. I've been self-employed and grew up fishing and stuff, so I try to do everything with common sense as far as not having. I don't want my sign blowing around the parking lot into someone's vehicle. I don't want issues like that. So I I I think ahead of all that stuff, just like I think ahead with my insurances on the boat and my insurances for people that go with me. Like I try to be ahead of the game on all that.
Speaking of insurance, can you name the town of Castine on your insurance? Also named?
My insurance is it covers the boat and like a liability. I think I have 500,000. So
Yeah, I
damage
mean,
to
usually it doesn't cost anymore, in my experience with it, right? It's in business.
what
You would name, but I don't know.
Insured. Why would you
Sure, yeah.
want to have the town as a named insured?
Well, let's say an accident happens, loading someone on the dock and falls and gets hurt. I know we have insurance, but they're not there to, they're there to go on his boat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if there's an
if-
accident, I mean, it's just an insurance. People aren't from around here normally, they don't, whatever. That's my thinking. But I don't,
No, I was just curious.
yeah, that's what.
yeah, no, if they got hurt, like if they got hurt on even getting onto my boat, then they'd be covered with my insurance.
Okay.
It's even if it's tied to the dock, it doesn't. I mean, if they going down the ramp, I don't know what happens there, but
Lawyers will find a way. Yeah, that's not gonna be.
Not us, I would think.
I'm sure they'll.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll go after whatever they can, but
Yeah.
I guess that'd be like going down to either go fishing or get onto their regular pleasure boat.
We usually have them chase the harbor master.
So I make the motion to approve signage by Buggy Me Tours on the town dock.
So move. As long as the sign isn't too big and such, I like the idea.
Yeah.
Second.
I just mentioned you ought to have it on the bulletin board as well.
Yeah, I put a small one on the in behind the glass
Okay.
on that, like a one sheet thing.
Yeah.
And I'll get one that's more, that was my generic one, but I'll get one that's more specific to Castine. That's just like a business overview to my website and stuff.
So you'd be signing up online.
Oh, what's that?
You'd be signing up online. People sign up for your tour.
Sorry. Or through text and stuff. I do a lot by phone, and
Okay.
I do the scheduling through like my calendar. I enter stuff kind of manually. But yeah, it would be through either online through my website or through me. I'm kind of old old school like that. I like to talk to the people and make sure they seem like they're interested and it's going to happen and all that before I book people. So my stuff, they all talk to me before I sign them up.
And if you're smart, you get their credit card number beforehand, so if they don't
Yeah.
show, you still get paid. That can happen.
Yeah.
Russ on the table and seconded, so.
All in favor of
Aye.
the pass?
Perfect.
Well, thank you. Do you have any further questions for us, Travis?
No, not that I can think of, but any of you can reach out to me anytime you want if you have any questions or anything you want to talk to me about that or about anything down there. Like I said, I want to keep everybody happy. I want to do things the right way. So just let me know if you need anything else from me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to Castine.
Thank you.
If I go, can I keep the catch? Just kidding, just kidding.
Only the shadows.
Pencil clause. They get pencil clause.
Okay, well, thank you. I think we'll move on to Scotty's report.
Not a lot going on down there right now. Actually, there's things are slowing down, which is probably a good thing, because I'm losing help here shortly. So normally we get into after Labor Day, which we will one way or another before we start just weekends. But right now with somebody leaving that should be on duty Friday PM and all day Saturday, so we figure out how to cover that. I probably have to do it myself. There's nobody here. And so there's a little less landings right now and fewer pump outs than last year in August.
Don't blame the weather, that's for sure.
No, well, unless you don't want the heat. Hawkage is up though. I mean, the money that we're taking in is, so there seems to be more bigger boat staying overnight, which, adds up a lot quicker. So that's helpful towards the float project that we're trying to do. Right now, we're thinking if David, do you have a design for the floats? Did you design them?
I am working on that, and I wanted to talk with you a little bit more about it. But
I mean, if we wanted to build ones just like the ones we have, do you have that design for the dinghy floats?
I think I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're thinking that we might be able to do that in-house this winter.
Okay. If you're thinking about doing it this winter, I can easily have you.
But they're looking, Karen's looking to try to get a cost on materials, so.
One of the things I have thought about after our conversation is you said that have a lot of debris catching up in the basin. And one thought was we might want to take one of the floats that's at the end of the basin and put it on the end of the floats that go along the bulkhead.
On the outside?
On the-
Okay, yeah, towards the Harbor Master Shack, right?
On the Harbor Master side of it.
Yeah.
And put a little ramp that goes across there that'd be, like 20 feet long or so. Pretty simple. It could be made aluminum or it could be made out of wood.
Yeah.
But that would allow debris to flow through. It also would provide another 6 or so tie-up spaces, because you really don't get any tie-ups on the end.
You get some in the inside of the U, if you will.
Yeah.
But they struggle to get out in. I mean, it's just a mess.
It
So,
would be better if they weren't coming there.
yeah.
And so that's basically just rearranging the float that we have. And but then we need to get a bridge ramp.
You're talking about next year, though, not now. You're talking about next summer, not now.
Right.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That can be done, I'm sure.
I think I'm assuming the pressure on the dinghy basin starts to ease off now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anything else on that? The guys that putting the anodes in, they got quite a few in.
Yeah, a bunch.
They probably will get as many as they can in by the end of next week. And then I'll, talk to Candors and have them come down and do the rest of them. Maybe in September or something, get them all done before cold weather. That's the plan anyhow. As I said, we're getting shorthanded already. I'm already getting, Cat's getting done, Monday or Tuesday after Labor Day. Tuesday after Labor Day, she had one shift there, and then she's done. And, Paul and John are not thrilled about working weekends. So the weekend coverage, it was Cat and Mark. And, they both may be gone. I know Cat is, and I'm pretty sure that right now the trouble for this weekend is Mark. But I think it's temporary, but sometimes I can't tell when he's talking about. He just said he had an emergency somewhere for some period of time, but he wasn't sure when he was getting back, so. Anyhow, it's gonna be an issue fairly soon, or sooner than normal. Nautilus Island is still a problem. The sun is really good about staying slow, doing what he's supposed to do. Jim, not so much. And he has that big white boat, and he for a while after I had a conversation with him on the dock about him coming by too fast. It started out not very pleasant, but it ended up very good. It was fine. When he left, he putted out all the way around the Norway buoys and didn't do anything until he was past them on the outboard side, so. But he has been back once about his trips in and went too fast, and I don't know if this is correct or not, but my interpretation is, you can't create a possibly damaging wake in the no wake zone. So if you're going too fast near the no wake zone and the wake comes in there, in my opinion, that's a violation. But I don't know if that's correct.
I would think that's correct. I had a conversation with one of our members who was outside the no wake zone, and he was at probably maximum wake speed, and it's like, it's coming right in,
Well, our ordinance is pretty clear. You can't create a possibly damaging wake in the no wake zone.
Yeah.
That's the way it's worded. So in my opinion, that means if you go by outside there and create a wake that gets inside there and all the way to the project, that's a violation.
Yep.
So most people, I know the people at the yacht club, when I talked to them that night that I was over there, they got it at the end, and they were, and I'm pretty sure they haven't been doing anything they should be doing.
A couple of people that showed up in August were a little bit ignorant.
Yeah.
My understanding is that, if I make a wake and it causes any damage, I'm liable for it.
Right.
Whether there's a no wake zone or not.
Yeah. So anyhow, it's, the thing that's going on right now is that I thought I had him convinced on how to do this, but they just insist on not doing it right. They come in and they have to go to Bangor, pick up somebody at the airport, and they come into the float. And they're there for 2.5, 3 hours. And they were going over to Kenny's, and he was charging them $25 to sit there, and so I don't think they're doing that anymore. Just today, they were gone for 2 hours and 25 minutes. And that would have been, if I put that down as a violation, that would have been the third. And fine.
And there was, a need for dockage. There were boats waiting for dockage today.
So, I suspect that's gonna happen here in the next few days, and we'll just see what the result is. It's hard because, I have to mail this stuff over there. Cause you can't catch them, cause I'm the only one that writes up the violations, and I don't know when they're coming back. The other day they were gone for 3.5 hours. So I just mailed the violations over.
If a boat's there more than 2 hours, would it town be within its rights to tow the boat out to one of our moorings?
No, I don't think so. What happens at that point if he's there and you'd have to call Marine Patrol and they would do that. I would never touch somebody else's boat. Just let the Marine Patrol do that. They would come down and leave them.
You wouldn't put a copy of the violation on the boat?
Oh, I do.
Oh, okay.
If it's there and I'm around and can get back down there before they actually show up, then I did the first overtime limit one that I gave him was on the boat. And, since then I've just, putting together a package. So anyhow, that's what's going on there. We did wash and pressure wash the ramp and got rid of all the slime, and so it's not as slippery at all. There's still seaweed there, but I don't think it's slippery. I walked on it and I don't think that's an issue anymore, at least for now. I'm getting all kinds of feedback about not putting that little building back on the town dock, the gazebo.
People want it or not want
They
it?
don't want.
I noticed the tape's gone, tape's gone.
I'm surprised.
Well, they don't want it.
Historic people.
You know, it just, the openness of it is nice.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
and it covers over the table so people
There
can get out of the
and
rain,
the shade.
Yeah,
which we
Well-
have.
We have all those little blue tops now, and so most everybody that wherever they're sitting, they can sit in the shade.
yeah.
They're not gonna, they're gonna be in the weather if it's raining, but they're gonna be in the weather if it's raining on the gazebo.
We don't have rain.
But-
Not this
It
summer.
seems like not this summer,
Not
Not this summer.
all spring.
So
So
much.
anyhow, that's what that is.
Well, on that one, I would say, before you try to make any decision on it, you might wanna have a public hearing and get those out there that do want it back, cause. That's something I hear a lot of, is people
Yeah.
wanting it.
Oh, I hear them both ways,
You're right.
but this is the first time, that I'm hearing some fairly strong feelings about not doing it. And it's
Maybe
people that
getting
use the
some-
dog, not people that
Right.
just sit in cars and look at the dog. These are the people that are using it,
The only issue I would say that you have with the existing, I think they're great, cause I go down there, my wife, we sit there, it's nice shade, it's great. Just when the winds are pretty high, do you take the covers off or you just hope for the best?
Once this summer, we've done that, and then we had one rip in, we haven't replaced that yet.
Yeah,
Cause you can't just buy the top, you have to buy the.
but.
I bought just the top for ours.
What?
The one we have, I bought just the top for.
What, we can chat later, I'll come over, but if it's
Yeah,
same size and brand.
10 by 10.
Yeah.
I just bought a new top and it was like $35.
Okay.
I'll show you.
20 something for the whole thing when we bought
Yeah.
Sounds like a bargain.
them. Well, it was, we bought everything they had. I bought one, Sue bought, Karen bought one and.
$20, that's pretty cheap, where did you get it?
Mine's,
Marley. That's good.
so.
Good.
It's not like smoke, but that's okay.
Probably cost you that much to drive over there.
Great.
It was $29 or something.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Does the ordinance allow you to ban him from using the dock?
Said it does.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, is it? No, I think that's a policy.
That's the policy.
That's not the ordinance.
Okay.
We should work on getting all this up into the ordinance if
Yeah,
we want to try to enforce it.
So could you possibly make a deal with them
Yeah, right.
and let them pay, give them an extra
No,
hour?
no, absolutely not.
No,
And that's my opinion. I mean, you
Yeah.
gotta do what you want.
You know,
That's what he wants.
I
He
agree, he
wants
wants
people to buy time there. And,
Yeah.
Buy it from Kenny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got
right.
an opportunity, yeah.
Kenny did it for a while and then
He's been such
Kenny's
a,
not so thrilled about it anymore.
he's been such a nuisance, so I really think that.
Wayne Bell had the pricing this year, it would work out pretty well for us, cause it's 1 hour free and then $1 a foot per hour afterwards.
Yeah.
And
He
he
can go over
just
there.
have to pay it.
Yeah.
He'd buck about $10.
But that's
No,
for
no.
everybody.
He can go over to
That'd be fair.
Belfast,
Yeah.
go over to Belfast. And he can
I think in Belfast, their goal was to reduce congestion, they just get so many visitors, and it's probably his work, I bet.
Yeah.
Now it's crazy to go over.
Yeah, we have such a limited amount of time that there's congestion. It's not an issue in June.
Nope.
And it won't be an issue at the end of September either, but
Or
in
even-
August, it's an issue
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
July and August,
Yeah.
is it.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I don't think we can have a pay structure for that kind of
No.
demand.
I don't think it's fair.
Yeah, we are.
Well, you gotta realize, we only got the one float,
Yeah,
and, you know, over Belfast, they have multiple floats. Yeah, so.
Hmm.
And they're reserved most time, we were over there, to watch the
And it,
rowing race, and,
Is it
we were
not
able
a-
to get in, but it took a while to get in.
a solution to have a dinghy and a mooring?
I thought of that, but I haven't felt the need to.
We don't need to
suggest
come
that.
up with solutions for
No,
their
I mean,
problem.
if he wants to play the game, you know, if he wants to piss me off, I'll piss him off.
Well,
I think-
we don't need that either, but
Two drivers.
yeah,
That's what I told him, and he did it 2 times, they did it 2 times, they brought over. Somebody drove the boat over, dropped off the driver for the car, and then away they went, and came back and picked him up, they did that twice, and then now they don't do it anymore.
and we don't need to come up with solutions for a problem that is not.
Yeah, no, I'm just,
Yeah.
that would be a rather easy solution.
I think banned for a little while would be good.
Well, you know, the thing is,
He has
you
policy
know, right now, if you put in for
so
new
it's gotta
mooring,
read it and
it's
see
gonna
if
be-
we come up with a solution.
halfway to Nautilus Island, so why bother?
Good clothesline.
Anyhow, that's all I got.
Well, if isn't this trash, it's his time, right? I mean,
No.
you've dealt with a lot.
Perhaps there are maybe MMA students that wanna fill in dock time as an
Yeah, I gotta go
attendant
down and see about
for a couple
guys that are in
weekends.
my building that I
Uh-huh.
need some help in a couple of places, so I'm going down there, see what we're over here.
Okay. Any further questions for Scott at all?
I would just say one thing, if we get a chance to, in my opinion, to have either the gazebo or the floats built this winter, I would go with floats.
Agreed, I feel that way, the dinghy pressure is obvious.
It's just crazy.
You're gonna lose the float money, I mean, the gazebo money in June. Otherwise, just so you know,
Next year?
it needs to
Oh,
be
the
done,
FEMA.
be in place by June 30th now.
Oh,
Just got it extended to that,
Yeah.
so
How much is in the budget to do that?
18,000.
Well, and we paid for the the engineering, right, and the design.
No,
Yeah.
that's been given to us, so Ted's volunteered that, so.
You don't think we can hire someone to build it for that?
I don't know, you're a builder, I am not.
I can't imagine you would cost much more than that.
Now, they could put it together, it seems like pretty quick.
We could get it, I mean, if you think we could, as long as, you know, they can follow those plans or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I haven't seen the latest plan.
Right, well, I don't think they've been developed since we last looked at them after
With the
Dave
diagonal brackets.
changed the
Seat
thing.
brackets.
right, and I think he's worked on a materials list, so. But I don't know.
You know,
That's
you
why,
might,
at first, that's why I like the idea of buying one of those pavilions, if you could have just put it on, it had no sides on it. 4 to 6 posts and boom, 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 it was in, but then everybody was saying they wanted all these seats around it and everything else.
You know, you might try Martin's.
I saw one at Sam's Club that I was like, geez, you know.
Yeah, that wasn't bad, actually. That was
Yeah.
pretty well made.
That was only like $6,000.
That was very, it was
I was
pretty
like,
well made.
yeah, that looks pretty sturdy.
Yeah.
I don't know, as long as the thing isn't moving, cause I'm sure those brackets loosen up. Hey, I just wanna get the thing off my plate.
well, I mean, I think.
You know,
if we
I
could
just
take-
got the extension for that and the other one, so. The key is just getting it, you know, built.
Did you get a bill of materials from Ted?
I think he gave me, but I don't know if he's revising it. So I think he had a list on the last.
I'll just go talk to him and see what
Yeah.
he's doing. And-
Yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to, trust me, it will make the public works guys happier, cause I know they're already stressed. Getting another half timer would be good too, but
Well, there's no grass involved, is it? It's all
not
brown.
really, it's brown, but the weeds seem to still grow. up through, so the grass isn't, but the dandelions do, I guess. Whatever else those other things are that pop up, sprigs of ryegrass, I don't know what that.
Progress is okay.
Well, unless we had a really concerted effort. That is not for the pavilion, I think on the whole, we want to replace the pavilion.
So we need to get together and see if we can do something that we can hire that money.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to have
I think it's
it
gonna
done
be
this
easy.
fall.
I would think it would be easier to find someone to do that in the floats and cheaper.
Yeah. And you did get that other thing from the state that I forwarded to you there with the state program where they have floats. I don't know if they're at the same spec or not.
I don't think they are.
No, alright. Because apparently. The DOT, I don't know who it is, like during the winter, they go into building docks or something mode. During the winter time for, I don't know how they do it, if it's their plow drivers, if it's their laborers or something, they build docks all winter too, so. I don't know,
DOT does.
is it the DOT that
No,
does
but-
it? It's somebody that does it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Scott, you and I had talked about the 5 of the steel plates missing.
Yeah,
And what's,
I'm gonna have to have them made. I don't have them, so
yeah,
I'll try to do that.
that's something we really wanna get done before there's any potential of strong storm.
Yeah,
And those plates that are missing are on the outer pilings, which are the most susceptible to getting pulled off their
I think those would be the easiest ones to.
beams getting pulled off. So we need to be,
Harbor master boat hunky dory?
but, oh, yeah, well, I mean, the only issue is that I have to run it every once in a while, because it's got one of those bilge pumps that sips, and the ones in my dinghy, it sips about every 3 minutes. This one sips about every 12 seconds, and it's out on battery. So I had to charge it once, and now the dock hands run it in the morning and a couple of days a week. We use a solar panel hooked up to the battery that trickle charges the battery. They're about this big. Yeah. They work pretty well.
I noticed the motor's been kept down rather than tilted up.
Well, I mean, I mixed emotions about that. When you put that motor up and all these dinghies pumping that propeller, it's just not gonna be pretty.
What's the manual for the motor say about keeping it down? Don't worry about stuff growing up inside
Yeah.
there.
I can put it up, but
That's the zinc side,
it's
the
gonna
problem,
be
right? The corrosion.
next
No,
year, or
They'll get slime
plan
growing
on
up
putting
inside
like
your
a 2x12 down
stuff.
the outside edges of the floats on both sides. Well, all 3 sides, the other side doesn't matter on the other side, the left-hand side of the cave here, but. The passage going out is always full of dinghies now, and people are pushing their way out and everything, so it's gonna. Hurt some of the dinghy space, but I keep telling people, just, leave a little more line out and you can fit a lot more boats in, but they don't listen, so. I think next year I'm gonna bring 2x12s down the floats. So that the passage out can't get clogged. And the boats can't go over towards the harbor master boat. The dinghies.
Well, hopefully we have new floats that help. That too.
I hope, but I still need to do that, because people like docking those places, the dinghies.
Yeah, I mean, I have to keep mine very long,
Yeah.
just to,
I knew.
and it has to
I
swim past.
lengthen them out as I go by all the
Yeah,
time.
I agree. Okay, well, thank you, Scott. Anything further for Scott?
Just a quick question, Scott. Where are the moorings? How many moorings is the town? And are they the 2 cylindrical moorings that are off the dock?
Yeah, town one, there's
Town.
with their flat top,
The flat dock?
and one that's, no,
What's the capacity on them as far as,
they're built for schooners, I don't know.
oh, schooners? Okay, that's big enough.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
There's been some pretty big boats on there besides schooners.
Yeah, because Mark asked me the question, I was there talking to him, he asked me which one, I said, I assume it's those 2. So I said, call Scott, I said, call Scott, find out.
Dana, I had a question for you, if you had any updates regarding Read and Read and any interactions in the harbor that you wanted to bring forth.
I don't think in particular, they seem pretty pleased with the boat traffic's been for the most part respectful and. They're working, right now they're doing, working their way on the east end towards the. Dolphin that's gonna be out there, I think the pilings that are there are the end of the piling supports, and the next set will be what will be underneath the Dolphin. And they've got the Dolphin, what they call Dolphin number 1, which is first one off the pier to the west. They've got the drive frame installed there. There'll be an additional one a little bit further to the west than that, just to give you an idea of where things are gonna land there. So there is gonna be some conflict with mooring spaces and working in that, but I think they've been pretty good about talking with the owners and working with Timberland to get stuff moved, and it's on their tab, so, or mine, one or the other, so.
I have a question. I ran into this trying to come into outgoing tide, and I was trying to get by the hose over there, and it was very tight, and I was trying to be the 200 feet back. I don't think it's possible to do that.
No.
It's impossible. I'm saying you can't do it. So you can go into your basin, I guess, and turn around if you need to.
If you have to, absolutely. There's I think you can sail a bit flatter to the end of our facility if you're gonna be docking with an outgoing tide. Cause you can kind of loop around and make an S turn to make that approach.
Make an estimate into the, yeah, because that was the only way, because I'm saying, how can you beat someone's feet?
Yeah.
We're going, it's almost impossible.
Yeah, you're
You'd have to
back.
cross both sides, you both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6x6.
You think a couple of those,
I don't think we need to find anything right now.
That's on size.
Yeah, you gotta.
hey Dana, do you think a couple of those construction workers would work with Scotty on the
Just one down there.
One back.
Together, figure out.
And you can use language.
20.
Yeah.
Mostly
around in the morning,
you around,
He's very plain spoken.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I mean, we got, tell them that we're not gonna be able to get those issues. We have to be next year for anything we want to do. For-
Is the,
The ones that are being built.
what's the schedule look
I
like?
guess, you gotta apply for this grant, just
Yeah,
When the
notice,
ship will be
maybe
coming
we
to the
can
dock?
by 20, but they're $500 for a 6x6.
Ship's gonna be pretty feasible.
That's another ship.
Oh, yes.
That's early October.
That's good, I think I paid.
Then there'll be a period of sea trials,
Naples, so.
after that, and then the ship will come
See,
to Portland.
that's how they keep their
They may
maintenance
do
staff, it says business.
one or two PR stops on the way up for Alumni chapters, not sure yet. But they expect to tie up in Portland sometime in early October.
Kristen, this week.
When will we,
Yeah.
when will we be able to
Trail
fly up at the new pier?
They're hoping for
We have to pick them up in
No,
Richmond.
no,
We need to find them.
May, June next spring.
She's
Somewhere
gonna
in there.
stay in Portland or is she gonna be in Searsport over the winter?
Some of both. I don't know what the schedule is, and I don't know if they know that yet either.
They're gonna have crew on all winter?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Really based on activity at Searsport, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really, but.
Yeah, I think there's a time when most of the fuel oil stuff is finished in early winter, they'll probably go up there and not wants to dock that often, but.
So Scotty, I think one of the construction workers over there would volunteer to help you with Jim, if you'd like.
Oh, yeah, I bet you would, too, yeah.
Tony,
Yeah.
or Chad, either one of them
Yeah.
can get the message across.
Yeah.
And
So even if they tie up too long, I think you'd be willing to go over and re-educate.
I did notice that some of the no wake buoys are drifting again with the
Yeah.
last tide runs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some down closer to Jim's Jennings boat now, it seems.
Right.
Okay. They moved up that one.
We really put them back a week ago, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, end of the week before or something.
Are there no wake buoys 200 feet off their work site? Or
I
is
think
it
they're more than that.
more than that?
Yeah.
Didn't go inside, doesn't matter, I'm trying to go on the outside of that, but doesn't matter, you can go inside it.
Right.
Okay.
So, well, thank you, Dana. The last sort of things on the agenda are here, this discussion and updates regarding commercial use of the town dock. So this is a need to keep planning towards that. But we
Dreaming.
need to come up with draft language that we'll grab some of the policy pieces and move it into the ordinance, so that can be voted on at the next, town meeting.
And that will be an issue for North Island, because they consider themselves commercial and they'll take advantage of whatever you decide.
Right.
But commercial, I think we had the current, either in the ordinance or the policy, as commercial businesses operating in Castine or something like that, it's written, so.
Yeah, and the
key,
commercial
their
doesn't
base
get
of
privilege
operation,
for
so it
time
has to
on
be
the
a
dock.
base of operation in
It's a
Castine.
Fee for operations and.
Right.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't give any privilege to more than 20 minutes, and it doesn't give any privilege for more than 2 hours, is the intent. But it is a recognition that commercial activity increases, then they can contribute to the welfare of the pier.
What's the longest little cooey every time's that?
Well, I mean, it could be there for 2 hours. Okay, like anybody else can.
Cause it's on a cater, is a 20-minute limit or 20-minute unattended
No.
limit? No, you know, I asked 2 questions. So it's 20 minutes unattended,
Attended.
20 minutes total.
You
You're
have
not
to be
supposed to be there
attended.
unattended.
And that's an issue, in my opinion,
Yeah.
if somebody.
Right, you know,
It doesn't have to be the skipper,
Yeah.
it's attended. And one of the dock hands didn't read it that way and was hassling somebody over that.
Yeah, and we've gone back and forth, but attended is attended with a person.
Right.
Now, it can't be, we did have this discussion, it can't be a 7-year-old child.
No.
right.
Or a dog.
Or a dog.
What does underway mean?
That'd be
Not tied up.
Not tied up.
Not tied up.
Alright. That when they're underway, where are they going? Like.
Anywhere they
the
want.
Whole trip?
Away.
Alright, I'm just wondering,
Yeah.
because there's another thing that talks about commercial boats underway.
I mean, they're not angry.
They're not tied up, right?
Yeah. So I think we need to be looking at the policy language and start preparing that for ordinance.
I agree.
Both.
Sooner the better, because
What's the objective with having a commercial policy, a policy on commercial use of the dock?
To have some fee structure that contributes to the welfare of the pier.
He'll be back Friday.
And the water use and the activity. If there's more and more commercial activity pressure, then that should be a manner for the town to begin to support the long-term maintenance of the.
Well, follows the ramp usage too for commercial use.
So that if somebody's gonna use the dock for commercial purposes, we wanna charge them something for that?
I think for any activity on the town waterfront facility. So I take up as a little signage space, I'm paying for that privilege through this commercial activity. Same with Scarlett that's doing commercial activity on the waterfront there, they would have a fee as well. It's taking up space from the recreational or the sort of municipal use that is provided. And it's contributing to the long-term welfare of the facility.
Cost of
Do we charge food trucks now?
Scarlett will be fine with that. She's.
Yeah, they're, depending on the day,
I think it's
they're
all
one
part of
day,
it.
or they're there.
We have some interest, there are other interests, there's a sailboat charter that's doing sailboats on the dock.
For the season, it's like
That kind of
2,000
activity is
Yeah.
something that they.
It's like one, you wanna raise money, and the other is you wanna treat everybody equally, and this should help with that too.
So basically, the concept, if somebody's making money and using the facilities as part of that ability to make money, Castine should share in some of it.
And that appeal has to be made to the town.
Right.
And it would be done through the ordinance process and a vote on the ordinance.
And we have that now for the launch ramp.
Right. So I think we can have a couple of meetings about that and draft some material and start really debating that and bringing it forward. And that's sort of the initial piece of this, is that discussion.
Makes me look forward to winter.
Yeah.
So just as an example, if you do want to include commercial fishing and somebody has their boat tied up to the dock and moves their traps down the gangway and onto the boat, is that commercial use?
I would think so.
Well, it depends maybe if it's a recreational track license versus a.
Yeah, I mean, five tracks is not, but
Right.
you know, somebody's bringing 40, 80.
Yeah, if
100 or
it
whatever.
tears up the aluminum on the ramp, then we're paying for it,
Right.
and we would want some manner of being prepared for that risk, I think.
Just trying to think of situations
Yeah.
where it might arise.
Yeah, and that's what you know, I think moving forward, we can start really putting time in and circulating some draft discussion points about it.
So maybe.
Well, you
more
maybe
use.
Yeah.
the discussion covered in the minutes to start shoehorning some of this stuff into
No,
the
that-
document.
This one, not yet.
How can that happen?
The other piece, in terms of scheduling is I have a continually conflict on
Still,
Wednesday evenings now. And I would suggest that we move to a Thursday, every third
I know,
Thursday
because we got into that.
as meeting time. And wanted to see if there was some discussion
Yeah, so
about.
similar for that.
I have a conflict on the third Thursday.
People showing up.
It's tougher for me to listen to, you know, but I mean, I can get here, but.
The town has a lot of scheduling on Mondays and Tuesdays, and I have a class this semester that's 5 to 7:30. Now, we could come up with a different time. And look at another time perhaps, but
Thursdays are usually a free day, but it's also Thursday, so I don't know if you.
You got a class on Thursday?
Wednesdays, yeah.
So Thursday's fine, right?
Well.
Yeah, Tuesday's the top because you got
First or
historic
second
preservation
Thursday is fine.
and planning
First or
board.
second.
As a ambulance board meeting every third Thursday.
Okay. What about the second Thursdays then of the,
I'm hit or miss, that's all,
Yeah.
because getting in,
on, right, the tug and barge
Yeah.
schedule?
I mean, sometimes it depends on the weather,
Soon it'll be dark by 4:30.
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Day earlier this year, they're doing daylight savings.
We're usually back by 4, but if we're,
No,
Oh,
I think the
there it
chapter,
goes.
yeah, sometimes it can be,
Was it driven do?
it is very well observed.
I'm pretty flexible.
Wednesday,
Roger.
Thursday would be all right.
Well, it would be appreciated. The other thing is that I'm up. I've served my 2 years as chair, so it's someone else's turn. I did consider that.
senior. The senior.
Yeah. So, I'd like to move that we are looking at every second Thursday of the month for meetings moving through the semester to December.
So we need to get back to Lisa on that.
Yes,
So
Alright,
moved.
so the first one is gonna be the 12th then,
the
instead of the
12th
17th.
of September. Would be the next meeting.
I believe we just told yeah, okay. Surprise, you told her it was on the agenda. So.
Yeah. So it's gonna be, let me write that down just so I can tell Sue too. Cause I know she's got that pre-dated into our calendar, so it's gonna be the second Thursday, is that what you said?
Yes,
From September to forever or what?
well, we can revisit it in December.
In
I mean,
December?
I appreciate the
after the semester?
consideration here.
4:30?
4:30.
And would it help you if it started later, Tim, or I don't upset the normal meeting time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we could consider a 5 o'clock start.
I mean, I'm trying to get here by 4:30, but I mean,
I know.
5 o'clock would be easier for me.
Anyone have objections to 5 o'clock?
On Thursday?
Thursdays, yeah. Every second Thursday of every month, not every second.
Okay. Yeah,
Second Thursday of the month, right?
Sue's on a 4-day work week now, so we usually leave right after.
On Thursday.
But that's only one Thursday.
Okay. Well, we can try 5 p.m.
Yeah, schedule it for 4:30, like you have been, and I'll try to get here. If I struggle, then I'll come in at 5. I'll get in when I get in.
Zoom in from the Pentagon.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, I always use that option.
Yeah.
Okay, keep it at
Summary.
4:30.
Summarize the dates again, I'm a little confused here.
The next meeting is September 12th, is it?
Oh, okay, 12th, yeah.
Yeah, at 4:30.
4:30, okay.
We'll do it one meeting at a time.
No, 12th is Friday, sorry, no, it would be.
So it isn't gonna be the.
That's the 11th.
11.
Sorry,
Yeah,
It's
put it
killing
over.
me.
Yeah, well.
Is it the second, or is it just gonna be September 12th? We're gonna figure it out
No,
after.
no, it's
Turns out it's
11, right?
It turns out
Oh,
it's
it's the 11th.
Thursday is the
I'm not gonna
11th.
be able to make
See,
that meeting.
I'm giving totally bad information. She's gonna be, Derek, everything you said was wrong.
I'm not gonna do
That
that.
wouldn't be the first time.
Right.
2024.
Or
2025?
revisit in, I'm saying we're gonna revisit it in December. So second Thursday a month, September through December, 4:30 start time, we'll revisit in December.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn? All in favor? Aye.
Yeah.
Thank